It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, folks, today I want to discuss tariffs and how I believe tariffs are going to affect those friends of mine that sell, supply, and service print equipment in businesses all over the world. Folks, it's not about a price increase based on tariffs. It's about, well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you what it's about. It's the same thing it was about during COVID. Another big crisis our industry had when businesses sent everybody home and people stopped using that oversold and overspec day 3 in the hallway. You know what it was? Well, it was customer awareness. How will tariffs realign the business print industry's value prop with their end users? And folks, for a while now, I've been talking about how I believe those friends of mine that sell, supply, and service print equipment to businesses are completely out of alignment with their end users on their value prop. The business print industry believes their importance is this, and the end users believe the importance from the business print industry is this. It's way out of alignment. And unfortunately, even through COVID, the industry didn't wake up to that reality. And I believe tariffs are yet again another opportunity for the end users of business print equipment to evaluate what they really need, how they're really going to acquire it, and what's the future of business print look like for their business. During COVID, so many businesses around the world put in place processes to innovate their business processes. And innovation is always about a process, and a lot of these organizations around the world started developing processes, started buying software, started implementing programs that eliminated more print, that eliminated the need to scan in documents from an analog world to a digital world. Businesses all over the world started realizing the value of the intersection between the digital and physical world, and they started realizing that most of the value was in the digital world, not the physical world, regarding business processes. But ladies and gentlemen, go back to COVID. Remember COVID. The industry fought against the A4 momentum. I started that A4 revolution about 2 years before COVID started. Warning all of my friends, A4 is coming. And boy, back in those days, I got all kinds of slack. You know, I remember talking to an OEM leader one time, giving me a whole litany of reasons why A4 wouldn't work, and every one of those reasons had to do with the industry, nothing to do with the end user. I even told the gentleman, you just described a dysfunctional industry when everything about your deliverable is based on you, not your end user. We had sales on products we couldn't even deliver during COVID. Remember that? I mean, it was nutty. I even did an episode. I said, hey, all those dealer friends of mine that are selling print equipment, your customers wish you own the automobile dealerships in your town, because then they wouldn't have to pay 40% over list or 50% more on a used car than they did pre-COVID. You would have them on sale. Ladies and gentlemen, there was some dealers in the marketplace literally signing leases on products they couldn't even deliver. Talk about dysfunction. We watched our end users move quickly to the pull economy while the industry stubbornly insisted on pushing our products, ignoring the realities of e-commerce. It just amazes the hell out of me that we're still having arguments about e-commerce. We still have dealers that, no, my customers don't want to buy anything online. I mean, we don't want to show prices online. That's ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a whole lot of print equipment being sold online. You know, a while back I did a comparison, and I looked at Brother's numbers for a period of time on their Soho print equipment. And we all know that Brother has a whole lot of little printers, a lot of Soho business, small home and office print equipment in the marketplace. In this particular time period, Brother had delivered $3.1 billion worth of Soho print equipment. And I compared that to Konica Minolta's digital workplace business unit, which is their MFPs and their printers. And actually, during that same period of time, Konica Minolta only delivered $3 billion, $100 million less. And I even made the comment, it's safe to say that Brother sells more businesses, printers, than Konica Minolta. And ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, where's the world going? It's going to the smaller equipment. It's going to the A4s. And we know that Brother does some business in that BTA space, but most of their business is outside of the BTA space. It's through VARs, it's through e-commerce platforms, it's through Amazon. But yet we still ignore that. I do want to applaud my friend Frank Cucco and his team at Impact Networking. You've seen some of the success out there. They're talking about it. Fantastic, massive growth in their e-commerce platform. They're reinventing e-commerce. E-commerce is more about a digital storefront to Impact. They get it. They're using e-commerce in their own business processes. And that's where the whole industry should be. The industry should have put on place some kind of e-commerce process at the beginning of COVID when the whole world realized the value of a pull economy. Instead, we want to continue to do what we've always done, push our products, go into businesses all over the world and overspec and oversell them, put them on a 5-year lease and prematurely upgrade them in 3 years. It's unbelievable we're still doing this stuff. But I'll tell you right now, the innovators, they're looking. Your end users are going to get another awareness as the tariff momentum gains. And folks, to be real honest with you, when I read some of the blogs around the tariffs, when I look at some of the comments around the tariffs, everybody's concerned about the price of the product and the price increase. At the end of the day, what is our industry's obsession with delivering products and services to end users with this obsession that we got to save them money all the time? We run around and we talk about how we're going to save the business world 30% on managed print services. When print, equipment, its supplies, and its services represents like 1% of the technology spend of end users all over the world. Okay, take out a couple verticals, but I'm talking about a global deliverable. It's like 1% of the technology spend. You got software providers going into organizations where we sell our printers, and these software providers are telling end users, hey, we have this software application that will do this process for you, reinventing the way your processes in your business work. And oh, by the way, here's what it's going to cost you. I mean, seriously, folks, and most of the time, they'll even tell them, well, the software you're currently using is costing you this. We're going to be about a 40% increase, but here's the value and the benefits we bring. When an industry loses its value and its benefits to the end user, the more their equipment goes on sale. That's just a fact. Can I say that again? When the industry starts to lose its value and its benefits in the minds of its end users, their products quickly go on sale. And we need to face this reality in our industry. We need to prepare ourselves, because whatever happens with these tariffs, we just gave our customers another awareness. You know, during COVID, we had more leases in Evergreen than ever in our history. I believe we're about ready to see that again. As end users evaluate what technologies do they really need to spend their money on. We have a major Microsoft refresh coming, folks. A whole lot of organizations are going to start thinking, do I really need to upgrade the A3 in the hallway? Why don't I just keep it where it is? Let's leave that alone for now. Hell, I print less tomorrow than I do today, and I'll keep printing less. I'm not focused on that. Ladies and gentlemen, innovators look at the realities the old way is ignoring and sets out to educate the old way's customers on a better way. A new process which aligns with the realities the old way ignores. That's what innovators do. They look at what the old way is doing wrong. They set out a path to educate those end users on a better way. And our industry cannot put its head in the sand. Our industry cannot do what we did during COVID. Our industry needs to think about these tariffs as a wake-up call. Look, people are going to print in businesses for quite a few more years, okay? The problem is the volume, it continues to decline. And I know we hear folks out there talking about, oh no, Ray, I mean, same-store sales are growing. Those printers in my offices, those MFPs in hallways that we service and support, they're doing more volume than they did pre-COVID. When I hear that, I just say bullshit. Come on, folks. Maybe there's a particular vertical that's growing, but that's not a global reality at all. And our industry needs to wake up. We need to start figuring out how we're going to diversify. What services can we bring to end users? We have to be able to monetize intellect. We have to be able to go in offices all over the world and help educate them on digital transformation. We got to help our end users navigate between that intersection between the digital and physical world. And we need to understand that digital world. We can't keep ignoring it. We can't keep hoping that we can drag the past to the future, because our customers want us to deliver the future to the present. And the only way we're going to do that is to start talking to our damn customers instead of to ourselves. We have these meetings. We listen to people talking about how they diversified their deliverable, and they talk about hitting it out of the park, home runs, selling a bunch of electrical vehicle charging stations, selling a bunch of water coolers. That's not going to help our industry. Are you kidding me? We need to figure out how we help businesses navigate an ever-changing world around business processes. The innovation of our industry is not going to be a product. It's going to be a process change. And we can bring that process change to our end users, or we can allow the innovators to do it as they watch us completely ignore the realities of our own customers. Bring your customers to your boardrooms, to your conference rooms, and ask them the questions that you need to ask them. And I assure you, when you ask them the questions you need to ask them, you're going to get answers you just don't want to hear. I'm so sick of seeing some of these surveys by some of the analysts. And they never really tell you exactly how they ask the damn question. And they spew nonsense. Remember the one, millennials love to read stuff. They love paper. Give me a break. People love to get mail. Give me a break. People are living more and more behind glass, and we have to understand how to monetize that. And there's ways to do it. There's organizations, there's OEMs in our industry that sell all kinds of glass technology. My friends at Sharp being one of them. And at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, get our damn heads out of the sand as an industry. And let's focus on those end users. Let's take this time while everybody's talking about tariffs and really start to talk to our end users in a way we never talked to them before, in a concerning way, in an effort to really understand what their needs really are. Because everybody watching me knows this. Status quo is the killer of all that will be invented. Don't get stuck there, and I'll see you all tomorrow.